The Buzz main studio guest, Darryl Taggerty, the PTA president of LBJ. And we're talking, of course, about the heated situation that has been going on the past few days. I think it started last week regarding the possible closure and whether or not it's rumored versus not versus trying to put this thing to rest. But again, the board chair was at a Rotary meeting. I don't know if it was the end of last week or first part of this week, where he was, again, our KUAM reporter was there and caught the words that he said, that we'll close it down, or, and mesh them into Tamuning Elementary. There's only 300 kids, and all there is are kids in kindergarten and first grade. That's it. No more, no less.
It was amazing to hear that. But what had really started this whole effort to bring it out into the public eye was at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon.
Last Friday?
Last Friday, I was given a flyer, which was the announcement for the task force meeting at Tamuning Elementary on Saturday morning. And it had a typo. It said the 11th. I said, no, it's and the teachers were planning to go on Sunday afternoon at 1 because it was parents in the morning, teachers in the afternoon. And that was the first I'd heard of it. It was coming from one of the teachers at LBJ. She was surprised that I didn't know about it already, but I would have only have gotten it from the school because it didn't go out. It wasn't in the media. So I made a copy of the flyer, and that night, and she told me that at a DI meeting, which is simply for their academic program, on Tuesday, that's when they found out that Hurrah had made an application for a charter school and that they had a grant writer for it. And it was brought up in the context of that DI meeting. Well, this is just Friday afternoon. So Friday evening, I wrote up a statement intending to flush this out and get some answers. I presented that to that task force meeting, and there was nobody from the task force there. There was one person assigned to take notes, give no information. And in fact, Bob Millay and Joseph Augustin said that they were told not to go to the meeting. Even the principal was told, do not attend the meeting, because they did not want to intimidate anyone coming forward with comments. And we didn't even know who was holding the meeting, but it came out that it was the reform committee, school reform committee of the governor's task force. Now that came out in yesterday's meeting. So fine, but that was the first we knew who was conducting the meeting. Even the person holding the meeting didn't tell us who was conducting the meeting. So basically, I delivered my statement, and then it was carried. In fact, there was a PDN reporter there the whole time. I delivered it verbally, and then I typed it up during the meeting, and I emailed to both the person taking the notes and the PDN reporter, and we were off and running.
Now, if I'm I'm sure the charter school situation has educated you over the past probably few months regarding that. Now, to date, I could be mistaken in this, but to date, there's only one charter school organization that has been approved for a charter school startup, and that's Ms. Donna Wiggins and her organization at this point. My understanding is if you want to charter a school, you have to go through the application process and an interview through a charter school, I guess, committee.
Well, I read the law, and the law says that there's you go through the committee. But from a media report, I believe it was from the response from the Speaker's office, was that the Speaker was pointing out that there are 4 vacancies on the board and there's no quorum. So who approved it? And to me, we both worked in the legislature, so how do you read the laws? If there is no body to implement the law, whoever's around implements the law. And I did hear on Saturday from a knowledgeable source, a person firsthand walked into one of those task force meetings at the tail end of Hurrah's presentation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Now let's go back, because we have to say that we're not necessarily against charter school.
Oh no, not at all. Or Hurrah.
Yeah, I mean we've seen
supporter of Hurrah.
We know charter schools have worked. We know charter schools also have not worked in different districts in the United States. A lot of course, the charter schools are specialty oriented. What we don't know here is basically who is chartering, what is your intention going to be? What is the focus, basically, of the curriculum on that particular charter school? Now, it could be great for LBJ, but we don't have information regarding that.
The process under the Guam law for converting a school to a charter school is that you take your proposal to the parents whose children attend that school and to the teachers, and you have to put it to a vote. And it has to be over, I think, 60%.
Now, let's talk about the funding of a charter school. How is that funded? It's not necessarily private.
It's not a private school. It's a public school. It is simply
public funding.
Provided a charter to operate a public school and gets public funds. It gets the same amount per child that the Department of Education spends on other elementary children. If there are 250 enrollees, they get the amount for 250 children. Yes.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick break again, come back to our last spot here in the buzz, but hey, at least you're helping clear up some of this confusion that has been going on. But are you more confused now? We'll come back.